Are you seeing any trends in other emerging markets, perhaps similar to South Africa, in terms of ETF adoption and how investors in those markets are using ETFs, and where, they might be a few years behind, say, the adoption in Europe and the US certainly, but any observations in that space?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think if you take a step back, so ETFs are about 5% of the investable assets in the world. So, again, I think the growth story of ETFs globally is incredibly strong. And bear in mind, that's tilted very much to the US, where, adoption and penetration is significantly beyond where we are here in EMEA or in Asia Pacific. And I think when you talk to a lot of markets like South Africa and others, we do see similar trends. We're starting to see a lot of interest across other parts of Africa. We're starting to see the growth of ETF adoption in the Middle East, in a number of countries there. And we've seen the story in the Asia Pacific region. So again, I think the underlying demand is the same. What you're really seeing is for wealth managers and institutions, they're looking at ETFs as a very efficient, very flexible vehicle to build great portfolios for clients. And we're seeing that blend. This isn't an ETF or something else. This is actually incorporating ETFs into portfolios alongside very successful alpha-driven, alpha-seeking active portfolios. And over time, we'll see private markets come as part of that as well. The other thing we're seeing, and I actually think this is going to be very, very interesting for countries like South Africa, this digital piece is huge. And actually, if you take for a moment Germany, in Germany, what we've seen is the development of what is called the ETF savings plan. And what this means is that every month, a client, an individual would sign up for this savings plan, and every month they'll put 10, 50, 100 euros into the savings plan. So it's very similar to the way you would have saved, into a bank account back in the old days. But it goes into an ETF or a portfolio of ETFs. There are now 5.5 million people in Germany who have an ETF savings plan. The growth is huge, and I think that type of innovation is the type of innovation that we're going to see in places like South Africa and other markets and other emerging markets, where actually they become really efficient vehicles for investors to save. It's digital, it's on the phone, it actually ties to the way technology is being adopted in many countries around the world. That actually, in some respects, like take somewhere like India, we're actually seeing digital adoption in India jump ahead of some of the markets in places like Western Europe, because there is a legacy. And so I actually think there's a great opportunity to use the new technology rails, the new financial rails, to accelerate ETF adoption as the vehicle that helps investors save for the future and save for their retirement.